What's going on, everybody? It's Saul Sunforge here for Dungeons and Taverns, and today is session 3 of our map making extravaganza here. I promised a steampunk sci-fi type map for a while, and now we're finally getting to it. This is session 3. It's a little bit more colorful than I want for right now. It's still in the fantasy colors. We haven't changed all that stuff yet. We're going to start doing that towards the end. You'll start seeing the transformation at some point soon. But since the last time we made the map, since our last session here, I moved this mountain over here on the right side where it says Cold Snap. I moved this down from over here because it was creating this step here into the valley, so to speak. But I want the Cold Snap to actually be the lowest portion, right? So I ended up having to move it over here towards the ends of the mountains to signify the steeper drop off. And it will frame the mountain range here with this lake inside of it, so the river will flow down and it will shape the cliff there will help shape that river. So sit back and relax as we edit this map making session down to about 15 to 20 minutes. Sit back, relax, listen to some of the classical music. We're going to go ahead and find some copyright free music and enjoy. Hopefully it brings you some quiet and some peace. Alright, so here's the section we're going to focus on today. So this way we could try to get more of this map done instead of jumping around. I'm going to try to see if I can focus up. So we're going to get the Cold Snap done, and we're going to get all this area up here, mostly done. There might be some details and things, bodies of water and whatnot we need to fit in here. And then we're going to get over here done too, leading down into the Swamp of Morrows. The Swamp of Morrows, by the way, Morrow, just, tomorrow, Morrow. So you can use that as some type of time puzzle, right? Like, because the Swamp of Tomorrow. So you can make it like it takes a day to cross the swamp no matter what happens, no matter which way you travel, even when you use magical means like Dimension Door or Planar Gate or something like that. Even when you freaking use magical means to travel somewhere, it will always take at least one day if you're going through that swamp. That would be awesome. Why? That's up to you to find out why. But you can use it. You could also, this, if you're using the futuristic setting, the Swamp of Morrows, that could be somewhere where a base is set up, where there's the teleportation and things like that, so you're able to fast travel or teleport where you need to go. And that agency that's in the Swamp of Morrows is the one that controls that function, that ability. Maybe you have to, the players have to purchase passes, in order to use the teleportation around your continent. Well, they would have to go to the Swamp of Morrows in order to apply for that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get these other cliffs out of the way for right now. We don't need them right now. We just had them on the board just so we could, do like a swatch just to select which one we like the best. We're going to go ahead and put some hills in here and fill this in with some dirt, I think. Alright, so I wanted to go with a darker color dirt, so let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty dark. That's pretty good. Yeah, I really like that, I think. Gonna maybe mix colors, perhaps. And I'm gonna make the imprint of this color smaller. Here, the size category. There we go. 10. Let's see. 10 might be too small. Yeah, because you ain't gonna be able to see any detail, really. But you can mix the 10 and like the 100 together. So I could leave the 100 that was there and then mix in some 10 behind it. So now it kind of gives, see how you can see it, but it looks like it's just like more of a feature of the land. It's just an intentional imperfection that you created. See, we could add another one. We'll do this one at 75 over here in this area right here. There we go. Alright. Then we'll go back down to 10. We'll fill out the rest of this area over here. Next to the mountain. There we go. It's a bit dark, huh? I mean, might be a little bit too dark. Because it sort of looks like grass. It's so dark. Let's see if we can fix it up a touch. Alright, there we go. So I used the softer dirt color, and I made like little canyons and things like that. Little canyons and hills and whatnot. And so then I outlined that section of the green colored dirt, I will call it, with the brown dirt. So this way it makes it look like that section is up higher at an angle. And that's how people from other continents can come in if you wish them to, is from that section. And you can think of like something like maybe sort of like the Badlands from World of Warcraft. Think of something like that, where it's more of a dirty, canyony section with segmented by mountain ranges and things like that. And it's just a bunch of plain dust bowl areas. Alright, there we go. So I went ahead and added some mesas and some rock outcroppings and things like that. And then I went ahead and I outlined all the brown areas with black. So this way it denotes a boundary line. So this way it gives the illusion of height. So this basically looks like steps. This outer ring here is the highest portion. This is the second highest portion. And then right here, of course, is the lowest portion. And you can walk around any one of these rings, obviously. But that's how you traverse down into here. So you can have, like, for instance, a call or a bunch of wastelanders or brigands, highwaymen, cut purses, thieves, whatever you want to call it. You can have a civilization of somebody or some buddies in this territory fighting over it in order to waylay travelers. It can either be to help them or to harm them, or both, and that could be like the party's intro into the land from a different continent, if they come in from a different continent or whatever, according to their backstory. If you want, you can start them off here. If you're not starting the entire group off together, that's up to you. Sometimes I run campaigns where the group, when they start off, they're all separate, but they come together, even though they don't know it yet. Well, they'll assume that they're going to at some point, but they don't know when it's going to happen. But I try to make it organic, you know. And so you can have maybe a call of folks who despise technology or something up there, or they could maybe they're artifact hunters up here, doing a bunch of archaeological digs and things like that in the dirt area. There's a lot of ruins and things like that. It's up to you. There's quite a few ideas I gave you. You can think of a bunch of others. If you have more ideas that I haven't mentioned, leave them in the comments section. I'd be happy to read a lot of your guys' ideas. It helps spark my creativity, and as I hope I spark yours. So that means this body of water here is going to have to start up here, right? So what I'm thinking of doing is starting it in the lowest section here in the middle, and then creating it down through here. And this is basically just a slope. So the body of water just picks up speed and slopes here down, and then spreads and fans out. And that's where the trees are created over here at the end of that source of water. That's gonna look sweet. Let's try it out. All right, there we go. So we made the sea here, and the river goes down into a lake. And there it goes. It ends there at that area there with the trees. So this area with the trees here in the water, it acts as a boundary line for the party to go one way or the other. So there's quite a few differences between each way. You know, one way is higher, one way is lower, one way is wet, one way is dry, one way is arid, one way is more, you know, forest-like. And so, you know, you kind of create all these differences in the, you know, in the atmosphere. So this way, each place doesn't seem like, you know, it feels, you don't want each place to feel like it's the same environment. One thing I do wish Incarnate had was more variety of trees, like a vast more variety of trees. They really have like 8 varieties of trees, but just different quality stamps of each of those 8 over and over, and that's about it. So then we come down here to the body of water here that we just created, and then we're just hand placing these trees. So this way they're not, you know, it's not too dense, but it's not too sparse. Alright, that looks fine. Then we gotta do that throughout this trail here of water. And then we're going to probably frame this water up here in trees too, maybe. Perhaps a different type of tree. Or more of a deader type of tree, really. Alright, so I am adding another one of these here. And this right here, you can make bridges in between these. This would be a perfect place for a city. Or a group of cities here. And you can have that the controlling factor of this region if you want to. You can have, like, for instance, you can have a faction here, and then like a faction here, and then like they are constantly, you know, fighting over this territory or something like that. And you know, you can add in whatever type of resources in there that you want based on the time period of game that you're playing. You know. Alright, so now we outlined the river a little bit with trees. We added a waterfall here at this cliff for the water to continue on. And then we added the trees around this larger, wider body of water here that lets out by the smaller waterfall here that has a little small grove of trees that are, the water so shallow here that the trees are actually, the roots are actually in the water. Like the water's up to, you know, 8 feet or 6 feet of the trunk or something like that. So the trees themselves are just perched in the water, right? And you could give them like these old gnarly roots and stuff, and basically have it so that the roots aren't even fully under the ground because the water just constantly erodes the soil. So the roots are going to be really huge and strong of those trees. It's pretty cool. If you think of like the bayou in like Louisiana, like the trees in some of their swamps are like that, or like Tallahassee. Alright, and then so we're gonna zoom down over here. This area is gonna take a little bit longer than just this session, I guess, but that's okay. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start a river coming from this side. Here. And that's not the shape of the river necessarily. I just wanted to point from where I wanted it to come from. And I want one to come from over on this side. And it's going to join around there. It's going to end somewhere around in here. There we go. Ah, it keeps digging one stamp or the other. All right, so let's try this. Did we make it through? Yeah, we kind of did. All right. So what I did was instead of taking away some of the land to reveal the water underneath of it in order to form the river, I just painted blue over top of the land. You have to let me know in chat which one you like better for this type of map. I feel like the less lines for this type of map, the better. That's why I drew all of this water on top of the land, because I think it gives it such a sweet look when there's no lines around it, and it's just accentuated by the environment itself to form the boundaries of the water, you know? So like I said, let me know, and we'll fix it up. And if your campaign is going to have hydropower, this would be an amazing place for a hydropower dam right here. And that actually could be what the civilization up in here, or the civilizations up in here, are fighting over, is control of this hydropower dam. In order to give all these people their power, that would make them very much in control. And so you could have that as your overarching conflict, depending on if you are that advanced or not in your campaign. Alright, so what we did to one side, we got to do to the other. So that means we have to start figuring out where we're going to put the bodies of water over here. And I'm going to probably make 2, possibly 3, because this is a longer set over here than this little curve here. So let's see what we got here. On this side, drawing the water on top of the land actually doesn't look as good. So I think I'm going to mix them up. Let's see what that looks like. Well, there it is mixed. Zoom in on it. I don't think I care for it too much. So we're not going to do that. So we'll go ahead and remake those and just paint them on. I think that's what I prefer. Alright, well, I think that's about all the time we're going to have for today. This video is going to try to edit it down to under 20 minutes if I can. Yeah, we got a lot done. We got the forest done. We got the water, you know, and some of the trees. Some of the bodies of water. We moved the mountain, and we colored in and, you know, populated the zone a bit. You know, this is again going to be more of an emptier zone, but it's going to have 1 or 2 larger cities in it, you know. And I think it'll be beautiful. I think you'll be able to get something good with this. Next session, we'll go ahead and work on the cold swamp and some of this area over here, and we're going to work on we're going to have a little platform somewhere, or we're going to have a series. We're going to start making a series of platforms. You know, for your air travel, if you travel via light rail or railway, or you know, a blimp. You know, however you want to travel, we'll make, you know, a few different places where, you know, the party's gonna be able to travel to get cross continent travel. So that should be cool. And you know, according to what kind of campaign you have is how you want to tailor what type of travel that is exactly. It could be you know, trained pets even. You know, griffins, wyverns, you know, things like that. So, alright, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully you enjoyed this copyright-free music. I love it. It fits wonderfully. Until next time, I'll see you in like 4 or 5 days with another session of the map. So, peace out. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment down below if there's anything you want to see. And, yep, I'm out.